Welcome to Las Vegas for the finale. Daniel Bogdasarov starts on pole from Nicholas Palomino and you up then it's Sebastian Ocampo in 4th from Charles Hernandez and Lars Leclerc. Remy Lebeau is 7th from Linus Eriksson and Marcus Nelson. Then outside of the top 9 you've got UK Ball and new champion Revo. Harmful Catfish is 12th from Akari Lopez and the Red Devil. Then it's Francis Austin and an Hughes from Oinkro Ezra. Ironit Babinus Jr. and the back 4 of Falstad and Kynes. And the 2 Mahindras of Rotak and Butler. We've arrived for the finale. Both championships may be wrapped up, but there's still more prizes to fight for. All 5 lights go on. And our prize fighters race off to the checkered flag here in Las Vegas. And we are underway. Bogdasarov still up in front as there's Solange from UOPA from 3rd on the grid to 1st coming through turn 1. Revo, your champion, getting a 5-second time penalty. 1 second for all of the championships he's won. Bogdasarov trying to get the best run possible, heading down into the sharp right-hand corner. Palomino trying to get a good run as well behind the race leader in UOPA. Here comes the 9-7 for the lunge. Still alongside, but quite a ways in front. Can he get that? No, he can't. He's side by side, still going through the chicane. As Rotak gets a time penalty, has to try and throw it around the outside, and it doesn't quite work out so far as they head towards the Las Vegas Strip. Under the beautiful lights here in Nevada. And UOPA having the inside line and having the optimal line. In fact, he moves up into the lead of this race, 1 lap shorter than last time out in Indy, but unlike Indy, not as quick. Still definitely a fast track, but with it being a street circuit, it's obviously not going to be as quick. They're going 3 wide down into the W section here in Las Vegas, and Bogdasarov still quite a ways behind the Red Devils. Course the yellow, hasn't he? He's got a time penalty and a not accused of one who's fallen foul alongside him. Devin Butler tries to make a lunge and he collides with Oinkro Ezra. Pretty sure the guy's a minor. You can't be doing that to his car. We're on to lap 2 of 12. And they've strung out into single file. Remy Lebeau's got front wing damage. Big problem for him. Break as late as you want, Salos. You are getting that 16th position. I think I already mentioned Rotak's time penalty, and Butler's not coming in to repair that damage. Bogdasarov not really got the pace he wanted down the straight. Lost attack mode going down there. Palomino's got it though, as he's still searching for that win in his rookie season. Something that somehow he's yet to do. He got a win in his rookie season of IndyCar, then with Nanthe he got a win as well, but he only got 1. Both of them were in Brazil. He looked like he could have won the Sao Paulo E3, but he just lost out because he didn't have the pace, and that time penalty as well probably weighed him down a little. He has neither of those right now. He just needs to go fast, and we know, and we have seen quite often from the Spaniard, he loves going fast and he wants to go fast more than anything. Linus Eriksson on the back of Charles Hernandez, the Dragon Racing number 52. Did run a brilliant opening lap, but that's got to stop now, as there's the launch from the Season 3 IndyCar champion to move up into 3rd as well. He's in front of Palomino, his fellow IndyCar Series champion. I think he's coming in with Bogdasarov here after just 2 laps. While Bogdasarov's come in, and also into the pit, Sebastian Ocampo and Lars Leclerc. Oh! Been a while since we've seen a wreck like that one. Marcus Nelson is out, and the cautions come out with it. It's been a long time since we've seen a car go airborne in the ERL. We've just had 2 consecutive races where the only retirements were due to the power units expiring. But the full course caution's ending, and we are back under the green flags. And Oinkro Ezra coming into the pits alongside a lot of drivers. And now, this is it. This is the waiting game. Races here in Las Vegas, they are often known for really heating up from lap 8 through to lap 12. Strategy has won this race before, and in fact, when it did win a race, it won a championship back in season 19. That was with the ERL 01s. The ERL-02s have been a lot more punishing on the tyres around this track, and you can see that after 3 laps. If they were to run another lap on the same set of softs, well, the tyres would just blow up, but I do not think that any team would try and do that side by side between Palomino and R18 heading down into the W section. And the Spaniard moves up into second. Revo's just gone past his first teammate in UK ball. And in the early phases of their career, and when I mean early phases, I mean the first 10 seasons of the ERL, definitely looked like UK ball was the more consistent, more honest, the better driver out of the two of them. But UK ball, he may have 2 championships. Revo's just taken his 5th. So out of the class of season 1, outside of the season 1 champion himself, I think Revo definitely deserves all of the flowers he can get. He's the only man who's run every single ERL race as well. He is the ERL driver of all time because, you know, UK ball, he missed out season 11. If it wasn't for that, which was things to do with the Formula 1 championship at the same time, if it wasn't for that, the next TV duo would be the only drivers to have stuck around the ERL for the entire time of its existence. We would have seen UKB and REV on the timing tower every season. But Bogdasarov now leads this race. And for the past few races, we've been wondering where the Renault driver's pace was. Never really mentioned it on broadcast, but you know, the worries were still there, and Babinus Jr. is still out there. He's hit 0% full car puncture for the Romanian driver. What was Mercedes thinking? They did just pull in Solos Kynes on the same lap. They almost certainly should have double stacked, because now Babinus Jr. has got a full car puncture. Lucky that he hasn't been hit by anyone. Revo getting another time, but oh my goodness me! Holy crap! Anok Yu and Oinkro Ezra once again involved in a major incident. Another time penalty hits Revo. Oh god, no. Many drivers now coming in for their second stops. They were almost certainly anticipating an FCY, but that didn't come. And there is the number 14 Mercedes EQ car. Almost certainly will come into the pits. Has no pace in the slightest. Almost hits Oinkro Ezra, who does come in with IBJ, but that might be some ominous foreshadowing for some teams and drivers if they were to choose to stay out and try and do 4 laps on the softs. And that's really unnerving for a lot of these teams. 4 laps is impossible for the soft tyres. So that makes the softs almost worthless, and your favourite race tyres would have to be the hards or the mediums, and that's what most of the field is on. But you've still got a handful of drivers out there on the softs, so that's going to be a big problem. Bogdasarov leads this race, and he's 1.5 seconds up on UFF, but the Scotsman is closing in. That's Oscar Volstad, is it? It is trying to get past Lars Leclerc, but not able to get past yet. And oh, that's very slow from Daniel coming out of the chicane. He comes into the pits, so UFF now leads. Palomino also stays out. In comes Lars Leclerc in the 16 car. And that was close to the wall between 2 drivers there. I think that was Hernandez going side by side with UK ball. And for Revo, he's not trying today, is he? He's already taken the championship, he's locked it up, he's roughly 50 points up on Bogdasarov. His team's already taken the championship, he's just taking in the flowers. And unfortunately, he's been involved in quite an incident or 2 in this race already. He's the only man out there still with a penalty to serve. So, yeah, this race has been incidents aplenty. We're at half race distance here in Las Vegas for the finale of the ERL Formula E Series. And, oh, we got yellows in Sector 3 then. Is that Babinus Jr.? It isn't. That's Oinkro Ezra. They went side by side. And that's why we had those yellows. as they hit the wall. There goes Ocampo to P4 in front of UK Ball. As we look at the 52 of Charles Hernandez, intended to go on board with him, but we couldn't. And the rear wing goes wide open for the Dragon Racing man. Can he get in front before the W section? No. Look at that. UK Ball using some attack charge, but they're still side by side. Lucky that there's no contact. But just can't get in front on exit. Doesn't have the grip necessary for it. In comes the race leaders then. This is going to be a multi-stop race. More than two, surely. Because everyone's already in for their second stops. We don't know how long the hards are going to last. But we all know that all of the teams are going to be trying to extend the last stop as long as possible. In comes the 55. Alongside a lot of other drivers as well. And Ocampo's now in front of Bogdasarov by pitting 1 lap earlier. And he's going to have to keep that pit margin, won't he? He can't exactly do an extra lap on the softs. He has to come in the lap before Bogdasarov does. And the Red Devils got no pace on those hards, it seems. Here comes Catfish side by side. And now in front of the Dragon driver. Butler's come down pit lane. And Revo's actually looking at his first non-point score finish of this season, I think. I don't think he's done that all season long. Ezra's in for his third stop. Probably won't be his final with 5 to go as he goes on to the softs. And side by side for third position, you are Puff back onto the podium. And yeah, this is definitely, we are definitely edging closer towards that crunch time moment of this race. We're just going to see how much of a crunch we find as Palomino up to P8, UK Ball up to P10. And you know, we've had 2 moments of controversy already in this race. There was a puncture with Babinus Jr. and of course Nelson's DNF. But aside from those 2 moments, it's been a relatively quiet E3 so far. Ocampo's going to re-emerge from his pit stall on the mediums. Volstad and Catfish all coming in. And at this stage, if you're going to come in and you put on softs, you've got another stop to make if you're on the mediums after coming into the pits. I think you might have 1 more stop to make, but you can theoretically get to the end. But they're at 22% after 2 laps of running the soft tyres, so it might actually be 3 laps. That's your margin. So it will be close for Ocampo and for Volstad. Did anyone come out there on the softs? Yes, Catfish, the Red Devil, and Rossack all came out on the softs. Mediums were strapped on for Remy LeBeau. Here comes Oscar Volstad going for the lunge on his fellow 1-time ERL Formula E champion in Akari Lopez. And Hines holding both of them up. That helps Akari get side by side and in front. And I think Bogdasarov definitely has to be on most people's radar in terms of who's going to win this race. Palomino side by side and up into 4th position. He hasn't led this race in quite some time. Could he win it? If he was on the hard tyres, I would have given him a shot, but I don't think it's going to be the Spaniard's race today. So this will be his first winless season in the ERL, despite being known as the 1-win champion. In comes the 97. So Yoa Puff now leads us to lap 9. Ericsson from Palomino. So we've got an IndyCar top 3, it seems. UK Ball comes in, Leclerc comes in, so it's now an IndyCar top 4 as Hernandez moves up into 4th. Ocampo is 5th from... who is that? That's Austin moving up into 6th. Akari Lopez with the fastest lap of this race as he gets passed by Artful Catfish. We do have official testers named for the ERL 03s, those being Francis Austin and B Dragon Sonic. And Austin, I mean, he does seem to be getting to grips a lot more with the ERL 02s, but I think from his feedback already, the ERL 03s might be what he's more looking for. As Bogdasarov now trying to get past the Italian driver. Moves past him with ease, but he's on the softs. This is not ideal for the Frenchman. It's going to be close when he comes to the checkered flag. I think he might actually get a puncture at the end of this race, considering what we've seen from Babinis Jr. And I feel like Renault might have calculated something to do between laps 10 through 12. Maybe to try and save tyre more. If they could try to save their tyres a lot more compared to Babinis Jr., they might get an extra 3 to 5%. I don't think that's going to be enough. Coming to the line, in comes Path, and I think Ericsson and Palomino are going to follow him in. No, Ericsson stays out. Ocampo almost passed Palomino before the 93 dove into pit lane. We're on to lap 10 of 12. Softs going on for Nico. He can make it to the end on softs, but I don't think everyone else out there on the softs can do it. In comes the 10 of Akari, and Rotak is in for his 4th stop after just 1 lap on the soft compound tyres. Revo's in as well, so that's likely why Ocampo stayed out. Softs going on for the Italian, so he's looking for a stormer of a final stint of the season. 2 laps to go from Nevada, and here's the 97. 0.3 of a second between 2nd and 3rd. Bogdasarov looking for the lead and to end the season with a win at the very least, in a season where he could have gotten his first championship but just didn't. He could still try and end it with a win, and he's going to take the lead as they head on to the strip. Daniel Bogdasarov, the 97, who debuted in Season 12 and got his first win and his first points in Marina Bay of Season 12. He leads, but Ocampo, who debuted alongside him the following season, he takes the lead back on the strip. It's just wild to think that Bogdasarov and Ocampo, they are effectively of the same generation of drivers, what I like to call the rebirth generation of the ERL, seasons 12 through 15. And Ocampo stays out, Bogdasarov stays out for the penultimate lap here in Nevada, and so does Ericsson at 5% tyre life. He's got nothing left. He's got nothing left, nor does Hernandez at 4. So we're going to have a likelihood of 2 drivers who are going to be limping home for the rest of this lap and the rest of this race. And Catfish at 18%, he's going to be limping too. The Red Devil in a similar predicament, and we got yellows in Sector 3. That is for Skaselin Rosak in the 74, 16th position, and Revo, the 7, the World Drivers Champion, not in the position he wants to be in, nor is Hernandez. Full car puncture, everything goes away from the 52. And it's the same for the 28 as well. Both drivers with major tyre problems on the penultimate lap, and this is a big worry for Sebastian Ocampo as well, who will be in a similar predicament on the final lap. I think Puff can win this race. Palomino might actually still be in the race. He's here to try and win today in Vegas. These guys went gambling on their tyre strategy and it didn't work out. As Puff moves up into 2nd, I think he's probably the man you're looking at for the win. What about Catfish? He's hit 0. Rosak with a 5-second time penalty. It's all really kicking off in terms of the strategy departments for all of the teams here. This is not going to look good for Bogdasarov as Rosak is off. Oh, big spin! It's the 28 of Linus Eriksson. It re-emerges onto the track there. Rosak still facing the wrong way. Gets it back, pointed the right way. Akari with a 5-second time penalty, and he's hit the back of Awful Catfish. We're on to the final lap. 17% for Bogdasarov, 3% for Ocampo. This is really dangerous moments for a lot of the pack. I genuinely do not believe that so many teams and drivers miscalculated on the strategy. Either way, Babinis Jr. has had an off. And, it's Ericsson again he's collided with. And that's the 14 there. Puff takes the lead in Las Vegas. Palomino spins it. Ocampo is out. Full course yellow on the final lap of the final race of the season. 5-second time penalty. And that will end Palomino's hunt for a victory in his debut Formula E season effectively. Ocampo out of the race. And there were rumors surrounding him about his seat, whether or not he'd be allowed to keep it Full course cautions end. Bogdasarov still hasn't actually punctured his tyres yet. 5-second time penalty for the champion, but we're back under the greens. 0% for Bogdasarov as he crosses the attack mode activation point, and he's got a full car puncture there. So he's going to drop off the back of Puff. 13% for Cable. He's chasing after Daniel, and I think he'll get the pass done. This is an unbelievable final lap in the final race, but it's a final race that will be won by the 9. Puff takes victory in Vegas. Cable is second. Bogdasarov drops off the podium, and of all drivers to take it from him, it's Lawless Leclerc. Brilliant stuff from him. Remy LeBeau, Oscar Falstad, so many drivers suffering with tyres on the final lap of this race. And look at that, Palomino, despite the front wing, gets past him on the road. This is going to be close there. My God. Revo's still going to come home with points. Is that everyone behind Revo with tyre issues? No, Rosak moves up into 10th. So is that everyone? No, Ezra is going to move up the order as well. Oh, God. Blink and you miss it. Almost contact for sure. Ezra hunting down P11 here. On board we are with a 47, and he gets past and will be classified as 11th. That's a vast majority of the field here. Let's try and list them off. So, it was Bogdasarov who had a puncture, of course. Falstad, Butler, Remy LeBeau, Catfish, the Red Devil, Anot Q, Charles Hernandez, Babinas Jr., Ericsson, and the man who didn't finish this race, Sebastian Ocampo, all struggling with their tyres. I think some of these guys are going to be 2 seconds off the lead. Babinas Jr., he can't go and overtake Hernandez, though. At the very least for these teams, at least they know that they don't have to worry about the flaws of their cars, because after this race, I'm pretty sure the ERL 02s here are going to go to the ACE Championship. I still don't know what the outlook for seasons 2, 6, and 27 of all 3 ERL seasons are going to look like. Will we wait for 2026 for them? I don't know. And this is your final podium of season 26. And it's Puff taking victory from Cable and Lawless Leclerc. Now, all 3 of these guys, at the very least, have some British heritage. Leclerc enters as a monogas driver, of course, but monogas British. But the top 2, Scottish and English, and they're going to have a lot more fights in the future of the ERL when we head to the A1GP from December 15th through 25th. As for the rest of your finishers, Francis Austin was 4th from Salas Kynes and Daniel Bogdasarov, then it's Palomino, Lopez and Revo from Oinkro Ezra, the top 10 outside of it. Scanlon Rosak was 11th from Falstad and Butler, then it's Remy LeBeau, Catfish, the Red Devil, and Not Q, Charles Hernandez, Linus Ericsson, and Babinas Jr. with the non-finishers being Ocampo and Nelson. Your final driver standings look like this. Revo is your champion, as already mentioned last time out. But despite the fights in the championship being mostly a Revo-Bogdasarov battle, Bogdasarov's 6th place today and Puff's win means that the Scotsman is 2nd for the 2nd consecutive season. Might be the new resident bridesmaid of the ERL. Who knows? 4th place was Linus Ericsson from Remy LeBeau and Nicholas Palomino, who's quite a ways behind his teammate, but still, somehow, look at the margin between 6th and 8th. 2 points separating them, as Catfish is 7th from Ocampo. Then it's Cable, the Red Devil, Oscar Falstad, Marcus Nelson, Francis Austin, Kari Lopez, Devin Butler, Oinkro Ezra, Lawless Leclerc, Salas Kynes, Ian Babinas Jr., Charles Hernandez, Gamelin Rosak, and Enoch Q. And your final Constructors' Championship standings look like this. DS Hyperdrive, your champions from Panasonic Jaguar and Red Bull Sims Porsche. Then it's Power Motorsport from MS Amlin and Duretti, and Team Edams Renault, and it's Toyota Gazoo Racing, Pinnacle Racing, Mahindra Racing, Dragon Racing, tied with Mercedes EQ. And if you were interested in taking a look at the official final point scores classifications of the season. Well, for the first time in Formula E history, we're giving it to you. 7 wins on the season for Revo, 2 wins on the season for UAPath, 3 wins on the season for Bogdasarov, and 1 win on the season for Linus Saxon and Remy LeBeau. In between them, Nicholas Palomino had 2 second places. Those were his only trips to the podium. He had so many 4th place finishes, but honestly, I feel like the Spaniard deserved quite a bit more. What shocks me quite a bit though, Catfish, no wins. Really thought he got one in this season. And Ocampo, he got a win in. Daf Sanchez took over the 76 car for 2 races and got a win in as well. Cable got a win in round 5. The Red Devil got no wins. Volkstad got a race win in round 11. And aside from that, I don't think anyone else got any wins in here. And OkU rounding out the bottom half of the standings as his teammate is 3rd. Surely the Hong Kong driver's going to get fired for that performance. But from all of us here at Sparkplug Motorsports, thank you so much for watching our 26th season of Formula E coverage of the Electric Racing League. And alongside the first Ace Championship Series and the 5th American ERL Series, this marks our 32nd ERL title decider, which is just insane to think about if we ignore the Formula 1 Series and the failed attempts at getting the FG Series off the ground, which could come back someday, but not quite today. We've got the A1 GP coming up in December, but between now and then, please enjoy yourselves, have fun, stay safe, and we will see you guys next time when the Electric Racing League returns.
I just wanna dress and wine. I don't know what I would ever do, don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on the dial. You say you want it, any, you like money on my mind. Anytime I think about you, I just wanna dress and wine. I don't know what I would ever do, don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on it.